My name is Mark Perkins. I have been with Empower for, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 8 or 9 years. So somewhere I have to look back on the day, but I think that's about right.
How did you first hear about Empower?
I think I had a phone call back then from a Empower representative, and they were just reaching out to random agents in the Jackson, Mississippi area, and said that they were doing a roadshow and there was a free lunch. So I was like, all right, I'll go if there's and check it out. My experience before Empower was not a good. When I became independent, I was with a brokerage firm, another FMO, if you will, and the help wasn't there. They just seemed very, very disorganized. And then when I wanted to move, they held me captive for an entire year after that. So it was not a very good experience. So I did have a bad taste before I came to Empire because I was new to the FMO world at that time. So yeah. Yeah, why I chose Empower is you can feel culture, right? You can, when you're around the people that are part of the organization, you can feel the culture without them telling you what the culture is. And so I knew the culture from this FMO, Empower, versus the old one was night and day. It was a 180, and that was my reasoning for going to it. So integrity, honesty, competency, those are the things I look for. Believe it or not, I'm kind of a unique agent in this that I don't really do a lot of Medicare stuff. So the tool that I have really liked over the years compared to the first few years of the ACA is my main business is Health Sherpa. That's supplied by Empower Brokerage, and it makes things so much faster, so much easier today than what we did when we first started back 12 years ago. So I would say that was the best tool. The most rewarding part of this, and I wouldn't even call it a job, I would say what we're doing right now here in Mexico, the freedom to go and come as you please. I can be anywhere at any time and run my business and not be stuck behind a desk. And, if I want to take off a week and do something, that's it. It's not about the money, it's about the time, freedom. And that's my favorite part about this career. Yeah. Hardest part of this job is dealing with, what's ironic is this whole business is about claims, right? That's it at the end of the day. Well, when those go wrong, those can be a headache. And that's probably the hardest part about the job is finding out why claims aren't paid. But it is our job to step in and help those consumers, get those claims paid. And that's the end story for insurance is claims, right? And so, but that's also the hardest part of the job at times. So in management of time, I would say that would probably be right up there, especially if you're leading a team. You have to manage not only your own sales, but help them as well. And it can be a little stressful. Yeah. Okay, so I have two good stories to tell. And the first one is actually what kept me in the business. So I was in about 5 years in the business and didn't even know if I wanted to stay in the business. In fact, I was thinking about quitting. I replaced a policy of guy that this policy he had was a like what we call mini med plan. And 6 months later, I went back to him with a new idea, but he couldn't pass underwriting because he had a major heart surgery that was unexpected, over $100,000. And when I asked him, because of prior experiences, I was scared about how the claims were going to turn out. When I asked him how everything went, he said it was wonderful, $3,000 out of pocket. That it was over $100,000 in claim. He only owed $3,000. And that policy member is actually what kept me in the business today. And that was 20 years ago. The second story would be a gentleman that he's still with me today. And this was, 20 plus years ago. I wrote him a major medical HSA plan with a critical illness. Got diagnosed with liver disease and had to get a liver transplant, but wanted to get his care not in Mississippi, but at Ochsner's in New Orleans. Because of the critical illness plan, it was able to afford him to go down and get an apartment for 6 months in Ochsner's and have his family come down to New Orleans every weekend to spend time with him while he was going through this treatment. And he said that saved him from going into medical bankruptcy. So that's probably the most heartwarming of my clients that from an experience that saved them not only, just their life, but also financially. The failure rate in this industry is around 90% after 2 years. So everybody thinks going into it, they're going to, everybody, they see what other agents are making and they think that that's going to be easy and get into it. I think where a lot of agents fail in getting in this business, and this is in any small business, is they don't put their goals down. They don't. They look at just the money, and they don't actually have real goals set out and timelines to reach those goals. And I think if you have something to wake up for every day, and you're looking at that, and it's in your face, and you say, okay, this is what I'm going, but these are the things I need to do to reach those goals. If you don't have that in front of you, you're going to fail. And that's where most businesses fail. The analogy I give to anybody starting a new business or becoming an agent is if you don't know what the Chinese bamboo tree is, look it up. It's a seed that you have to plant in the soil, and you put it way down, you put the soil on top, and you water it. But you have to water it every single day. Otherwise, that tree dies. But after a year, you don't see anything come out of the soil. 2 years, you don't see anything come out of the soil. And it starts getting frustrated because you're watering it every day, right? And then nothing's coming out. 4 years in, nothing. 5 years in, nothing. But then with the next 6 months, that tree grows to be 90 feet tall. So the question is, when did that start growing? Was it in the last 6 months, or was it in the entire 5.5 years? And the answer obviously is the entire 5.5 years, because that is your business. You have to water it every day. It is frustrating because you don't know if it's growing or not. But if you water it every single day, 7 days a week, that includes just reading, listening to podcasts, audibles, anything that relates to your business. And that's also setting goals as well. So that's part of watering your business every day. That's all I can tell you to do. The best advice I can give to anybody coming into this business, or any new business for that matter.